the environment of tourism marketing in Sonoma County in 2002, I would say it was fractional, siloed, somewhat competitive versus collaborative. There was also a lot of regional, larger organizations. I was active in the Redwood Empire Association in the time, but it really didn't have specific elements to counties. And it really took the funding challenges, the desire to really secure long-term funding from 2002 on that really drove and was the catalyst to bring people together.
I think how it kind of came about, I got a call on Monday morning. Mike Riley's office wanted me to come over and see him, and he gave me something to read, just gave me a memo. And it was a memo to Supervisor Mike Kale from Riley, saying that we need to get this tourism under control or we're gonna kill each other. But there's so much passion and it's just inefficient and no one's happy and it's just non-productive for us, and it's a more competitive world that's coming up, so we need to really have a plan for tourism. We had so many little nonprofits all trying to get more money, all with good intentions, and understandably, but that led to a fracturing of the effort as opposed to a unified, stronger effort.
Well, our county has always been very diversified, was especially so then, that the river area had its own focus, what they wanted or needed. It was over 2+ years long of these conversations of really getting the consensus and the understanding of what it took to create and formulate the entity of Sonoma County Tourism.
We were not adding a tax. We were self-assessing ourselves, and we were not paying for that either. We were going to charge the guests for that and move that money along to market our properties. But that concept was somewhat very difficult to sell. No, we're not going to tax you, but there seems to be this constant thinking that we were going to be taxed more and people were not going to come to our places. So that was probably one of the biggest challenges of selling the project.
One of the things I've noticed the most, and I guess I'm proud of this, is I've noticed a distinct change in the level of collaboration among people in the industry. And so everybody was looking out for their own interests rather than trying to make the whole county more attractive as a destination. And so to see that metamorphosis was something I'm very, very proud of.
I think getting people to trust you, I think had to be the biggest challenge. First, this came out, people were like, you know, what's in it for them? What are they trying to do this? They weren't intimately involved. I think they understood that, you know, the idea of, you know, a county-wide organization that's well-funded is going to help everybody. But I don't think there was a lot of trust and, you know, trying to convince them that by the structure of having the different regions involved, the different sized properties involved, everybody will gain from the growth of tourism in this county. You know, we were represented as a, you know, great asset, and that was one of the big reasons for doing this. Is, you know, Sonoma County was just a great product to sell, and it wasn't getting its rightful due. And I think we tried to convince the different properties that this is how it's going to get done, and everybody's going to gain from this. And that was probably the biggest challenge.
There was a lot of defensiveness when we first started. And there was a lot of defensiveness of going, oh, am I going to lose mine? Am I going to do that? And it's a convincing of seeing perhaps the greater good of things and saying, okay, we can all put together and put some of those differences aside. And it takes some time. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. It takes a lot of good people out there having a good voice of saying, come with me, come to us. And if you look at it, you look at the industries in Sonoma County, we've got a $1 billion wine industry. And now you have a $1 billion tourism industry to go along with it.
Sonoma County is so different from Napa because Sonoma County is not just wine. It has the coastline, it has all these other elements. And I think emphasizing on those and getting the right messaging out on those of the total experience, the variety of the experience, all the things you can do within Sonoma County, I think was one of the key challenges because again, everybody had different interests.
The end result of our years-long effort to solve our own problem felt great then, and it still feels great. I'm honored to have been an integral part of this unique effort and to know that destination spending today has more than doubled since 2005 at $2.4 billion. And the Tourism Bureau are thriving. This is a good reminder that we are stronger together.